Hello everyone, I'm Tuco, and welcome back to another episode here on the One Ring server with our Dwarven Empire Let's Play series. Now, today we are going to be working on a gatehouse because, well, we need one to our inner kind of outside area? That's kind of oxymoron as an inner outside area. No, but a gatehouse for the outside kind of courtyard area that we've been working on. Now, before we head over there, I just want to discuss my plans with what we are going to be doing with this area over here. Because over here, we have farms and storage and a library and player houses and whatnot. But down here, I would like to actually have our armory, maybe even an arena for sure, and a few other things as well down here. I also want like a smithy. Excuse me, and maybe even like a barracks for any hired units that we may be having. Because I used to just put my hired units out here. They're all gone now, but yeah, they used to be out here. So I want to make a designated area for them. But that is not what we're going to be working on today. Today, let me show you what we are going to be working on. This gatehouse that I have planned. Also, last episode we put, oh that's right, last episode we put these memorials in here, and actually a fella who used to be part of the Iron Hills, he was actually the Prince of the Iron Hills, William Plays, asked me if I could put his name on one of these since he was the former Prince of the Iron Hills, and so I said yeah, sure. So let's do that right now. I think it's just William Plays. I don't know if there's some numbers after it. I can't remember. All I remember is William Plays with the Z. So we're just going to place this here. I was going to use a chisel and chisel it into the rock or into the stone, make it more dwarven-like, but it wouldn't let me because I have a bunch of slabs surrounding a bunch of blocks, and it doesn't like that for some reason. Maybe because it makes like an invisible block. It's kind of weird. But anyway, let us just put some nice decorations around this. You know, something like that. Get rid of one, maybe two. And also, we are going to put that also down here. And then up here in the middle, we'll just put Prince of the Iron... Well, that isn't going to work. I'm just going to put Iron... Ooh. Iron. No. Iron. Don't even know how to spell iron today. Iron Hills, Prince... still not big enough. Fine, then I'll just put Prince because it's title, and then William. I'm probably butchering it. Plays. I think I might have to redo that, but for now that's what we got. So what we do have going on today, though, like I said, our gatehouse is what I want to be working on. So this whole area is going to be marketplace. This whole area over here. Over there, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. We'll see. We'll see. But for now, we have a courtyard. This area is going to be a marketplace. And our gatehouse is going to go somewhere over here. I don't really know where. Over there, maybe, or up here. I really can't tell exactly where we're going to do it. If we do it over here, I've got quite a bit of terraforming ahead of me. If we do it over here, very little terraforming because it's on par with the same level as this. However, it is a bit off-centered. Now, with the gatehouse, let me pull it up real quick because I do have it in Schematica. So let me grab that real quick. But a note with this, I wanted to do something different, okay? So what I did is I put it on an angle. Because I normally don't deal with angles. I usually just go up and down, or I guess, proper squares. But I wanted to do some angles. I know they aren't too hard to do something like this, but I wanted to see how it worked. So let's just rotate this to get it where we want it. And let's see where exactly this would be a good place for. Now I do have some things extending over here, but let's just see what this looks like. So if we kind of pull this down a bit, and closer towards us, I can line this up just right. Okay, so that is lined up like that. Okay, good. That looks all right there, actually. Now, if we were just to pull it a wee bit closer, just a wee bit, about there would be good, I think. I think that'd be about right where I want to have it. Let's just come back here and take a quick look behind. You know, that's looking pretty good. It really is. Now, I mean, yeah, it definitely does look off center, especially because this is all blocky and whatnot, you know, straight lines and whatnot. And this is on an angle. However, I kind of like, well, actually, you know what? You know what we could do? Instead of putting it there where it's supposed to kind of be a bit straighter, we could put it over here. That way I don't have to do a whole bunch of terraforming, right? And not only that, but it might look a little bit more in place because it's offset a bit. Now that is a bit odd over there. But to be honest, I think it might not be such a bad idea to put it over here. Let's just quickly take a look to see how that's going to look. We'll just pull it over real quick and move it into position and see how that looks. You know, I think it might look better, definitely, because it might be surrounded by some more hills, looking a little bit nicer like that. Well, let's just see. We'll move it right in this corner here. Take a look back, or take a step back to take a look at it. And you know, that looks a lot better, to be honest. Instead of just setting it right there, kind of off-put like that, I think right there would be an ideal position. I really do. I think that'd work well. I really do. So I'm gonna get started on that then, if that's the case, because I think that'll look pretty good. I might fiddle a little bit more with how it's gonna be placed, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with where it is. Let's just take a look in the front, just to confirm. Now I will have to, of course, get rid of this little hill here and that tree, but other than that, I think this will look pretty fine. Attackers can get at it, you know, through here. You know, we might terraform this area just to make it look a little bit nicer. I mean, we got some weird terrain generation going on over here, but yeah, there's not much we can do about that. And I don't want to terraform an entire mountain like that. No, thank you. No, thank you. But anyway, that's looking pretty good. So I'll be right back, guys, with an update on how it's going. I'm first going to terraform the area, and I'll be back in just a moment. I finished building the Dwarven Gatehouse here at Konosrash. I was going to do intermediate segments to show updates and how it was going with the build, but unfortunately that video footage was corrupted, so I wasn't able to use it, unfortunately. But it is done now. So we have here before us an epic gatehouse for our Dwarven Fortress of Konosrash. And now it's starting to rain. Anyway, there were a few things that I didn't quite like, which I'm going to be changing. Not about this specific build, but about the surrounding land and, well, maybe a few things about the build too that we are going to change. And I want to discuss them. So, first things first, this hill here. You know, may look aesthetically pleasing. We got a hill there. We should have a hill there or something like that, right? But, unfortunately, this is a rather good place for attackers to hide, basically. And we don't want that. We don't want to give attackers the advantage, or any kind of advantage for that matter. So, I gotta smooth this out. Basically, I gotta get rid of this hill here. We're going to smooth out the rest of this kind of hill. We're going to slope it a bit more. Over here as well, we're going to slope this a bit more and try and make an epic entrance. I want some, probably some more statues, of course. Some arches and epic, maybe lanterns and stuff like that. I don't know, something really cool. I don't know quite what at the moment, but for now, this is what we have going for it. Now, one thing that wasn't too great about the build that I kind of wished I would have had a better maybe solution to it or did something different, but you know, I guess this is the best one that I could come up with. Basically, with this gate right here, this particular gate, well, first off, I wanted it to kind of, you know, go on an angle like this. Like how our build's on an angle, I wanted the gate on an angle. Unfortunately, the gates don't like to do that. You know, they really don't like to go on angles, because then you have massive gaps, pretty impractical. Attackers are firing all kinds of arrows through it. Plus, it looks horrid, absolutely horrendous. So, my solution was to place a pillar here and connect it up with gatehouses on either side. Looks a bit odd, I know. but it's the best solution that I could come up with. Now, there are a few issues with doing it this way. I mean, this is the only solution. However, there are issues with this solution. And basically that is, we can't have, I'm not sure what they're called, but they have them on medieval castles, and I use them a lot in my gatehouses, but they are basically gaps in the gatehouse here, where you can throw down boulders, boiling oil, arrows, spears, all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, I have no room here to put it. I really don't have any room to put it. And putting it right here, it still wouldn't work quite well. So, I mean, I could put it over here, but I mean, this is our side, so there's no need. And if I was to do it the opposite way, have this side the entrance, the opening, like this is moved over here, and this is the opening, yeah, then we could have it, but we wouldn't be able to have any murder holes, which I think are more useful than having holes for firing down in the gatehouse itself. And those murder holes are going to go right here. There's only going to be a half block or a slab gap here. We're going to have one person there, one person here, with a spear or a halberd or maybe even a warhammer to push back the attackers. Anyone who's coming in with a ram or explosives or things like that, we want to push them back as such. Now, I suppose I should give you all a tour of the Dwarven Gatehouse that I built here. Now, the two towers here are exactly identical, and while they may look very epic and awesome from the outside, the interiors are not quite as epic. They are quite plain, as a matter of fact. And the reason for that is because I didn't want to spend a lot of time detailing the interior when the interior is not important for this build. Interiors are important for our actual fortress, because that's the main part that you're going to be seeing when you're inside. But with this, this is mainly for defensive purposes and to make an imposing gatehouse that attackers are seeing. Attackers aren't going to be seeing the interior. The interior needs to be practical. The exterior needs to be beautiful. Basically, is how it's supposed to go, or how it needs to go. Which is why for here I went more with practicality, or more with, I guess, looks than practicality. So right here, right on the edge here, right directly under this block is the pillar. And with the pillar, it doesn't look good to just have a pillar there. However, practicality would state that, you just have the pillar there and leave these places open for attacking vectors. But I went with looks there. So we don't really have an overhang here like I normally do, or how we would have over here. And so there really isn't much that we can do about that. And honestly, I don't even know if we can kind of even move through that. I don't think so. Well, anyway, moving on with the rest of the structure here, or the building. This area up at the top has some good angles, I suppose. We have some overhangs so we can attack down below. I mean, my halberd reaches all the way to the ground, which is pretty awesome. We also have some nice angles and viewpoints from over here, and this one here as well. Well, this one isn't as good, but this one's much better. Anyway, the next two, I suppose, rooms of the tower here, they're mainly for looks on the exterior. That's pretty much it. The interior kind of defensive practicalityness isn't really needed on these two rooms, or two levels, I suppose, of the tower, simply because you aren't really going to be hitting shots from here as well. And you can't really get very good angles of attack from up here. You get them better from down below, which is why I just kind of went with looks for these two levels of the tower. This one too. This one's even worse because you can't even see. But what it looks like on the exterior is pretty epic. So up here at the top, however, it is quite wide and open. You can stand on pretty much anything, anywhere. And it makes for a very good lookout for any attackers. Well, for the defenders, a very good lookout for the defenders to spy any attackers who are coming in. And you might even get a few good angles, even if we were to keep this hill here, on attackers. But, I'm not that great of a shot with a bow and arrow, so I'd probably miss all my shots from up here. If I was down below, I'd probably get a few, but up here, yeah, maybe not. But this is the very tippy top here, which, like I said, very good for a watchtower. Not so sure how good it'd be for actual, combat, but that remains to be seen. Also, you guys are probably wondering what this hole is here to your certain doom if you jump down it. Well, that's going to be filled with, there's going to be a water block at the bottom to soften your fall, because I wanted a quick way of getting up and down the tower, especially, let's say, the gatehouse gets breached. Let's say this gets breached, people are running through it, and you're all the way at the tippy top, and there's no way, and you want to get all the way over to the second line of defense, all the way over there, and you can't, because you're slowly drifting down a ladder. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. So, make a way that people can just jump down and go, because I'm planning on 2 routes for this gatehouse here. The first and foremost is going to be the wall itself. So, with my wall over here, let's quickly run over and take a look so I can show you all. It is hollow, and the reason for that is that we can have 360 defensive capabilities of the mountain here. So this entire mountain is surrounded by this wall, and it will be hollow. I haven't worked out the design yet for it. I'm still working on that. I don't quite know how it's going to look or anything like that. We will want probably some spikes just to keep it similar to the gatehouse look, perhaps, and maybe even give it a few spikes over here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of changes I'll do with that. But this is supposed to be hollow, so we can get some nice angles on attackers. As you can see, this basically is the entire courtyard right here. And you can hide behind this very easily, reloading, fire, come back. And same with these over here as well. Very nice, very open. A lot of room. Also down here, you can fire. It's a very good defensive wall for such things. And so that will be wrapping all the way around, like I said, the mountain. However, it will split off over here, right there. It splits off and comes down these hills and will link up with the gatehouse there. Once it's linked up, it will come up, and I believe it's going to connect with that. I can't remember what I was thinking with that, or if it's just going to go around the mountain. I don't quite remember. But anyway, at most, or I suppose at least, it will hook up on this side of the gatehouse. Now, that's escape plan number 1. Or I suppose that might just be the way of getting there. But the main escape I'm going to implement for this at a later date. We'll see when we'll do it. But I will have a minecart tunnel from here all the way back into the base. Mainly because we need some way to get there quick. Because let's say we're all stuck over here, we're fighting, it's going pretty poorly, they just breached the wall, we're all still in the towers somewhere, maybe even the myrtle holes, and they get in. Well, now it's a race from here all the way over there, and not to mention, we have to go all the way that way and around and down while they can just beeline it. Straight over, blow another hole, and get in and win, right? We can't have that. We can't have that. That's just not going to work. It just isn't. And it's not going to work if we just come down here and race with them over fighting it all the way. That's not going to work either. Okay, so what we are going to do is put a minecart tunnel in so that we can just hop in, ride over there, and put up the fences for the second gate there. And it should end up working pretty well with that in particular. Now, I do, like I said, I need a few details to add to these still, besides the tunnels and walls and all that kind of stuff. But I need to add some better lighting to this because I was building this in creative mode and, I kind of forgot about lighting. So I pretty much just threw some torches on it just to brighten it up because it was getting close to night here. But I will be adding some dwarven glowing bricks and stuff like that. Also, some banners we're going to need to add. Maybe even a few flags on the top. I don't know. We'll see. A few custom banners coming down made from wool. I think that might look pretty good. I think that might look good, yeah. And I believe that's it for this structure, at the moment at least. Like I said, we still got to add a few details. But for now, I think that's good for a gatehouse. Need to hook up the walls, but I think that's good. Oh, and also, you're all probably wondering why I went with spikes, because it looks kind of evil looking. It doesn't really look Dwarven, kind of. And the reason for that is simply because I like using spikes on my builds. I think they look epic. So I just decided, I'll throw some spikes on there. And so I did. But like I said, this building is mainly for two reasons. Defensive and also intimidation for attackers. And what's more intimidating or menacing than spikes? So I decided to just throw them at the top as a topper. Because I didn't really know what I was going to do with the top. Like, I mean, I could have gone for something similar like our tower up on the hill. Kind of flat like that. But I didn't really want to do something like that. You know, I want to do something different. So I just decided to throw some spikes on top. And that's why for that. Now, also some other details that we are going to need to attend to are the memorials. I'm going to need to add some decorations there, you know, some leaves and stuff. I just haven't had the time to go and collect leaves or other plants and whatnot for decorating the gardens here. But that will be done eventually. And maybe even some gardens up here too. Because I'm not going to be using the lag machine anymore. That went bad, okay? That went really bad that first time. So we won't be using that anymore. And I believe that's going to do it. So thank you all for watching this episode of the Dwarven Empire here on the One Ring server. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button. And also, if you have any suggestions for me on that gatehouse, or there is one thing that I want to mention. So another thing that I would like you guys to, I guess, put in the comments is whether or not we should leave it like this for the memorials, you know, just with the sign like so, or get rid of these slabs here, place some stone bricks, and have it a flat surface to where we can chisel. Because it's either that or we just leave it as is. So do please put those suggestions and any other suggestions you may have in the comments below or on my Discord server. I have a dedicated Discord server, and again, I am asking for help with it. I don't really have all the time in the world to make it this epic Discord server. So if any one of you out there knows how to properly make a Discord server, send me a message and we'll go from there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, if you did, please sure to hit that like button. As always, I am Tuco. God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.